So today is Friday, July 2nd. Happy upcoming 4th of July to all of you. And today what I want to try to do really quickly is answer the top 3 questions that are being asked on Google right now about the real estate market. So here's the 3 questions, and I'll dive in real quick. Number 1, when is the housing market going to crash? That's the number 1 question everybody has on their mind. Number 2, why is this real estate market so hot? And number 3, how much over asking price then do I need to offer in order to get a house? So to the first question, when is the housing market going to crash? Let me give you a real quick answer. It's not going to crash. So please calm down about whether the market's going to crash or not. There are so many things different now than there were back in 2008 and 7 and 10 and I mean, things are totally different. Back in those times when the housing boom was taking off, people were getting adjustable rate loans. People were getting crazy loans that they shouldn't have gotten and were getting into homes they couldn't afford. And when those homes adjusted, the interest rates, they could no longer afford them. They were bailing out of these houses they couldn't afford any longer. With that, there was already a pretty good supply of homes on the market. This put a glut of homes on the market, and with our supply and demand, when there's more supply than demand, housing prices crash, and that's exactly what happened then. So we are not going to see a repeat of that. The lending industry is much stronger now. There are very few homes still on the market. Our inventory is extremely low, so the conditions are totally different. So please rest assured, we will not see a real estate housing crash in the next coming future. Number 2, why is the market so hot? Well, it kind of goes back to number 1. During the time that so many houses were being foreclosed on the market, the real estate market tanked, builders basically quit building. And so even though there was a lot of inventory at that point, there was no new housing coming on the market, no new supply to help supply people coming from other areas to our area. Well, that has really shown up over the last year because we were almost 10 years behind in creating new housing stock for people to be able to purchase who were coming to Arizona from other areas, primarily Washington and California and some of those states through there. Because of that, it created now this huge shortage of homes. So now, why is the market so hot? Because it's the opposites of supply and demand. There is more demand than there is supply. We are critically low on supply of houses all throughout the valley and all throughout the country. It's not just Arizona. So it will remain this way for a little while. Now, I can tell you that we're seeing some cooling off of the market. We're seeing inventory slowly begin to rise and the heatness of the market slowly lowering. But it's like I tell people, it's like turning your stove from hot down to 8 or maybe even 7. But we should, over the next year, see this starting to come into more and more of a balance. Home prices will continue to rise, but the hotness of the market will continue to lower until at some point over the next year or so we should see a more balanced market. Lastly, how much over asking price do I need to offer to buy a house? I mean, I hear it every day. The houses come on the market, it gets 12, 15, 20 offers, some of them $50,000 over asking price. How do you know what to do? We are still in a market where primarily homes are selling over asking price. The challenge is it almost varies market by market as to how much you need to go over asking price. So if you're going to make an offer, you need to start at least asking price. You know, I think as a general rule, we're seeing at least $15,000 to $20,000 over asking price. If it's a higher price home, it may need to be more than that. You know, get with your realtor, have them kind of see where the market is in a certain subdivision, certain area, certain community, and maybe give you a little more guidance on that. So I hope this helps answer these 3 top questions that Google is getting typed in on what's happening in the real estate market right now. This will continue to change. I'll continue to come back and give updates to this. So with that, hope you all have a very safe 4th of July holiday weekend.